Welcome to the latest USL Championship in 10. My name's Jason Longshore. Thanks for checking us out here on the SDH Network. Let's get caught up on the 10 things you need to know around the USL Championship in just 10 minutes for Week 9 as we start to look ahead to Week 10 of the 2019 season. We're going to start with number 1 out in Albuquerque. New Mexico United had themselves quite the Cinco de Mayo on Sunday. They moved into first place in the Western Conference for the first time in club history after a 3-0 win at Isotopes Park over San Antonio. Technical director Troy Lacine felt like it was the club's best 90-minute performance of the season, and it got started with local star, former El Dorado High School star, Devin Sandoval, opening the scoring in the 9th minute. Last week's Player of the Week, Kevon Frater, followed up his hat trick with 2 assists on the night, and Chris Wehan scored twice for New Mexico. The on-the-field side was great. The off-the-field side was maybe even better. They set a new record at the gate at Isotopes Park, drawing 15,023 fans to the match. Look, New Mexico United is one of the best stories in American soccer in 2019 at any level. Honestly, it looks like they're just getting warmed up out in New Mexico. Full credit to everybody involved with New Mexico United. It's a fun team to watch, and it's a great atmosphere at Isotopes Park, and I can't wait to see it continue for the rest of the 2019 season. We have a new leader in the Eastern Conference. That's number 2 on our list this week. The New York Red Bulls 2. They're leading the Eastern Conference for the first time in 2019 after last week's 5-0 thrashing of Birmingham Legion at the MSU Soccer Park. Derek Etienne Jr. opened the scoring midway through the first half, but it was really the second half that the Red Bulls took over. 2 goals in 3 minutes from Sean Nealis and Matthias Jorgensen early in the second half pretty much ended this as a contest. Jorgensen added another one in the 81st minute. Tom Barlow closed the scoring in the 90th minute. 11 shots on goal for New York. That was just one way that they demonstrated their dominance in this one. Ryan Mara made 6 saves to earn the clean sheet for Red Bulls 2. They head to Canada for a match with Ottawa Fury today, and then they have the weekend off. We'll see if they will be at the top of the Eastern Conference as we get back with you next week. Out in the West, Fresno is still flying under the radar. They're still unbeaten. They're climbing the table after a 4-2 win in Utah against Real Monarchs. Michael Chang opened the scoring for the Monarchs in the 17th minute, but it was answered by the first of Christian Chaney's 2 goals on the night in the 27th minute. The Foxes took advantage of an own goal in the 58th minute from Kalen Ryden before Chaney added his second to make it 3-1 in the 61st. Josh Hurd cut the lead to 3-2 in the 84th, but Fresno put the match away with a goal from the substitute Jamal Johnson in the 90th minute. There's a little bit of extra significance in this one for Fresno as they were able to rest Johnson for most of the night and give their captain Juan Cafa the night off completely. They're back in action tonight with a big in-state rivalry match against Sacramento Republic. Number 4, the tough start for Hartford Athletic, maybe easing a little bit as they hosted Charlotte Independence in their home-away-from-home opener at Rentschler Field. They earned their first point in club history as well in a 1-1 draw. The Independents started out hot. Abdoulaye Mansali gave Charlotte the lead in the 3rd minute. Max Steves responded quickly for Hartford, equalizing in the 12th minute. That goal for Charlotte, that was their only shot on night as Hartford defended very, very well. They could not find a winner, though, but it's progress. Jimmy Nielsen's team played in front of 11,346 fans in Hartford and have a chance to get that first win on Friday night against fellow expansion club Memphis 901. It was a great night in Vegas for Eric Winalda's Lights as they conceded first to Sacramento on Saturday night, but then they answered back with 4 goals, and they eventually won 4-2 at Cashman Field. Neither team could open the scoring in the first half to set up a wild second with 6 goals in it, and it was the Republic who struck first, Hayden Partain, in the 51st minute. The Vegas onslaught started in the 67th with Irvin Parra, followed by Gabe Robinson in the 71st and Colombian Santiago Echevarria in the 75th. Newly signed Junior Sandoval scored his first goal for Las Vegas with an absolute rocket in the 90th minute. Tyler Blackwood added a consolation goal for Sacramento deep in stoppage time. They couldn't get any closer. They end up losing 4-2. Vegas right now is on the outside looking in at the playoff picture currently. They're 1 point behind 10th place El Paso. It's a crowded Western Conference. Vegas, honestly, it feels like things might be coming together for Eric Winalda's bunch. Number 6 on the list, one constant in the USL Championship is the grittiness of the Charleston Battery. That was on display in their comeback to get a point against the Pittsburgh Riverhounds Saturday night at MUSC Health Stadium on Daniel Island. Kevin Kerr and Kennardo Forbes scored twice early for Pittsburgh to give them the 2-0 lead. Bob Lilly's squad, they took that lead deep into the second half before conceding a penalty that was converted by Zako Lewis in the 76th minute. One of Mike Anhauser's latest signings paid off for him in the 81st minute as 18-year-old Nike Daly split two defenders on the dribble, scored from a tight angle up against the end line to equalize. Daly was signed late in March. He starred for Jamaica's U17 and U20 national teams in recent years. He looks to be the latest in a long line of Charleston stars coming from the Caribbean. Number 7, the Indy 11 started their 5-match homestand, and they were looking for more than what they got. But back-to-back clean sheets, it's nothing to complain about. 2 scoreless draws for Indy 11, and those 2 draws made Evan Newton the league's all-time leader in shutouts. The draw on Saturday night, he made 3 saves to keep North Carolina off the board. That followed up the clean sheet from last Wednesday, where they kept Tampa Bay Rowdies off the board. Evan Newton has been in the league for quite a while. He's a fan favorite everywhere, and you could tell from social media after he set the record just how many fans around the league and how many fellow players around the league have so much respect for the goalkeeper. Look, he didn't have to work too hard in the game against Tampa Bay. It was 3 saves on Saturday against North Carolina, no saves against Tampa Bay. They had 15 shots. They just couldn't put one on net. Pretty resilient performance overall from Indy 11. 20th minute red card to Patty Barrett forced them to play over 70 minutes shorthanded against the Rowdies. In addition to Newton, it was a big week for defenders Alex Croniale and Neville Hackshaw, as they also played 180 minutes and didn't concede once. Indy's off this weekend. They'll be in U.S. Open Cup action next Wednesday before they return to league action and host the Charleston Battery on May 18th. So with that draw in Indy, Tampa Bay, they're still unbeaten, but now they're 2 points behind the Eastern Conference leaders, New York Red Bulls, too. They're in the top slot after back-to-back wins. The Rowdies are level with St. Louis on 17 points. Then you go 2 points back to North Carolina and Charleston on 15. That's followed by Nashville and Indy 11 on 14. Louisville City's alone in 8th place with 13 points. Bethlehem, Birmingham, and Pittsburgh are straddling that playoff line on 11 points. And Ottawa and Atlanta, they're only 1 point back. They're lurking on 10 points. The Eastern Conference, very crowded at the top right now. But Tampa Bay, unbeaten. Fresno unbeaten out west, but Tampa Bay unbeaten in the East. Not the top team in the East. We'll see if they can start finding 3 points after some recent draws. Let's run through the Western Conference table for number 9 on the list. El Paso's win in Colorado Springs last weekend, that moves them into the top 10. They're level on 12 points with Rio Grande Valley and Orange County. Reno and Fresno are 1 point ahead with 13. OKC Energy and LA Galaxy are tied on 14 points. Tulsa and Portland are next with 15 points, and they're trailing the conference leaders New Mexico by 2 points. As we mentioned, Las Vegas Lights creeping up the table. They're right behind El Paso out west. Both conferences so competitive in 2019. That's only going to continue as we get into the summer. Number 10, let's look ahead to the rest of Week 10. It continues tonight with 3 really big matches on ESPN+. New York Red Bulls 2 head to Ottawa. Nashville hosts Tampa Bay Rowdies, and Fresno hosts in-state rivals Sacramento Republic. Saturday's schedule is highlighted by Birmingham hosting Louisville, and then on Sunday, New Mexico goes to El Paso. Fresno continues their California series of matches when they go to Dignity Health Sports Park to face LA Galaxy 2. Those matches, along with every other match in the USL Championship and USL League One, are available on ESPN+. We'll be back next week to talk all about it in the USL Championship in 10. Thanks for listening. Talk to y'all next week.